Hey everyone, it's Kelly. Thanks for joining me. I am back with a new process video for the Blog Hops with Heart blog hop group. This month we are featuring an end of the summer theme, and that is exactly what my layout is going to be today. It is going to be a summer themed layout. I immediately went to the pink Paislee Summer Lights collection, and I thought I was going to use that polka dotted pattern paper that you see there, but I was really in the mood to create my own mixed media background. So that is what I'm going to do. I've grabbed a piece of white cardstock. I've already applied a layer of clear gesso to the background. And now I am moving on to my Jane Davenport Brights palette. It's a watercolor set, and I'm just going to be pulling the yellow from the watercolor set to create a yellow background using the packaging technique. I think I've mentioned this in past videos, but this blog hop group was started by my friend Amy Kiger, and she has arranged for a group of paper crafters to get together every month. And each month we have an open-ended theme. So I'm really excited to see what everyone creates for this month's blog hop. It could be anywhere from a summer project like I'm creating, it could be a back to school project, or it could just be a project that they've been wanting to create all summer long and are just now getting the chance to make it. So I do hope that you'll hop along with us to see what everybody else has created in the blog hop. I will post a link to my blog in the description box below, so you can head over there and hop along with us to check it out. Okay, so getting back to my layout, I have the yellow on the background and I have the amount of color that I would like. So now I'm going to move on to adding a little bit more mixed media to the background. I want to create a polka dotted background similar to the pattern paper that I was initially showing you at the beginning of the video that I thought I was going to use. So I am mixing some acrylic paints with white modeling paste, and I'm going to use a stencil to create a dotted background. When I first started, I thought I was going to go with 3 colors, purple, pink, and teal. And I create the background, which you'll see in just a moment, and I'm not really happy with the teal. I feel like it's too bright. I feel like it's too distracting. I do end up resolving that a little later on in the video. But here's where I'm bringing in the stencil, and it's just a small dotted stencil. This is from the Crafters Workshop. And I'm starting out by applying the teal, and then I'm going to blend the colors together. I'm going to move on to the pink, and then I will add a little bit of purple below the pink. And I wasn't going for perfection, so I'm not really worried if all of the little circles are filled in. I'm not really worried if it's even from the top to the bottom or from the left to the right. I just wanted to create a polka dotted background with some colors that are included in that pink Paislee Summer Lights collection. So in just a moment, I'm going to lift the stencil, and here's where I wasn't really sure what I thought about the teal. I just didn't feel like it blended as well as the purple and pink did. So I'm going to bring everything back in. I feel like it's too distracting. So I'm going to mix some teal paint with some white paint to tone it down slightly. And then I will add the modeling paste to the paint mixture. And then I'm going to reapply it through the stencil to try to tone down that teal color. So it takes me just a bit to get the tone of the color exactly as I want it. I do want to make sure that it is significantly lighter than the teal that I initially placed on the background. And it's kind of hard to tell here on camera, but it was quite a bit lighter than the first color that I had applied. Now here I'm just lining the stencil back up, and then I'm going to use my palette knife just to spread that color. And I try to just place it on top of the teal portion because I didn't really want to cover up any of the purple or the pink. I also decided that I needed to add a little bit more of that teal color underneath the purple to try to help balance it. Because that teal was so much brighter than the other colors, I felt like I needed to add a little bit more underneath. But I was not happy with it after I got that applied. So I am starting over. I am going to recreate the background using the same yellow watercolor from the Jane Davenport Brights palette. And I am only going to use the purple and pink for this second background that I'm creating because I just really felt like those colors blended much better together, and it just looked a little bit more cohesive and that it flowed a little bit better just having those 2 colors rather than 3. So I've sped this next portion up significantly because you've already watched me apply this color to the background once, and I didn't want to bore you with watching me apply it a second time, but I did want to include more of the process of how this layout came together. A lot of the times I will edit out little bits, like I may not have shown you the first part of this video where I created a background that I did not like. But I think it's important to see the creative process and that it doesn't always turn out the way that you want it to the very first time that you are creating. I think in the world of YouTube, it's easy to edit out the parts that we don't like. And I just want to start including a little bit more of that in my videos and just kind of show the more real side of how these layouts come together. All right, so now I'm going to apply the purple and pink modeling paste through the stencil to create the dotted background. And while we're talking about purple, I used to, and I feel like hate is too strong of a word, but I really used to dislike using purple in my scrapbooking, but I find myself using it more and more lately, and it is starting to become one of my favorites. And I feel like purple is a really hot topic when it comes to scrapbookers because I feel like in general, that is the color that scrapbookers tend to shy away from or not use because they don't like it. So I am curious if you are a purple lover or if you are a purple hater. So let me know in the comments below. I always find that topic interesting because every scrapbooker is different as far as what their go-to color schemes are or what their favorite colors are. So please let me know in the comments below. I would love to read your responses or your comments on that topic. All right, so when I started talking about purple, I had brought in the first background that I had created and I wasn't sure which one I liked better. The teal was starting to grow on me, so I thought that maybe I would use it, but in the end I decided to go with just the purple and pink background, and I'll save that teal background for a different layout at a different time. So now that I've decided on the background, I'm going to move on to getting my photo ready and move on to embellishing. My layers are going to be really simple behind my photo. I backed my photo with a sheet of tissue paper just from my stash. It's just the same tissue paper that you would use when wrapping a gift. And then I also added some fun foam behind the photo because I do want to lift the photo off the background slightly. Now I am bringing in some of the die cut pieces from the pink Paislee Summer Lights collection. That was a frame that was included in the die cut pack, and I just cut it in half so that way I could use half of the frame on the right side of the photo and the other half of the frame on the left side of the photo to help balance the colors. Now I'm going to start to bring in some more of the die cut pieces. That word summer is going to be part of my title. And this pink Paislee Summer Lights collection has some foiled accents to it, including this word summer. And the foiled pieces are really cool because they almost have a holographic appearance to them rather than a traditional foil. And I just think it's super fun and it's something different. And I really, really like this collection. It does have a beach feel to it. There's a lot of ocean themes. There's some mermaid things, but you can use it for a lot of different summer themed projects, including this layout. For instance, this is just a picture that I snapped of my son and myself sitting on our back porch one day, and the colors just went so well with this photo, but it has nothing to do with the beach and it has nothing to do with the ocean, but I still was able to incorporate a lot of the pieces from this collection onto this layout, and I'm really happy with how it turns out. Now, speaking of this photo, it was actually taken with one of the new Instagram filters that they have. And I was never a Snapchat user. I never really fully understood the purpose of Snapchat, and I think that might be showing my age. But I was really happy when Instagram started incorporating these filters into their camera feature because I always really liked the filters and the photos that I was seeing that people used on Snapchat. And so I was so happy that I could use similar filters but not have to create a Snapchat account. Okay, so getting back to the layout, I have added a tag underneath the word summer, so that is going to be my title for this layout, Summer Good Times. And I wanted to add some tangled thread underneath that tag, and it takes me forever to get this thread tangled the way that I want it to. And I don't know why. It's tangled thread. It's supposed to look messy, but I could not get it to sit the way that I wanted it to. So I play with it for quite a bit. I am going to add some thread to the top left of the photo, and I initially start out with a purple color and then I end up using the same pink that I have below the photo. But same thing, it takes me forever to get it tangled and tucked underneath the photo exactly the way I want it. And as I mentioned, that die cut piece that has the words Good Times on it is a tag. So there is a hole to the left side of that die cut piece, and I didn't want to add any baker's twine or anything to that hole. So I just covered it up with a star that is included in the same die cut pack. Okay, so next I am going to remove that purple thread from the top left of the photo, and I'm going to add in the same pink. And there's going to be another thread saga here because I can't get it the way that I want it underneath the photo. So again, it's going to take me a little bit to get it positioned exactly as I want it. So once I'm done fighting with that thread, I don't really add too much more to the layout. I am going to add another die cut piece underneath the word summer right next to that star. And there are a lot of really cute emoji faces included in the Summer Lights collection. So I'm just going to adhere one of those right next to that word summer. I felt like I just needed to fill in that space just a little bit more, and that was the perfect addition. I wanted a little bit more pink in that area, and it ended up working out perfectly. I debated on whether or not to add another pair of the sunglasses to the layout since I have a pair of sunglasses to the top of the word summer, but I ended up liking the emoji face better. I thought that the size was a little bit more appropriate for where I was positioning that die cut piece. And then I also thought about adding some tangled thread just to create a visual triangle underneath those sunglasses, but I wasn't really happy with how it was sitting on the layout, and I just felt like it was more distracting than anything. So I ultimately decided not to keep that thread there. Now, as I was looking at the layout, there is some teal in the die cut pieces that I used in the word summer and then also in that good time. So I wanted to add a little bit more teal to the layout. So I decided to add some splatters. So I just put a little bit of the paint into a empty piece of packaging, water it down, and then just use a paintbrush to add some splatters to the bottom and the top of the cluster. Next, all I need to do is add the date, and I am using a roller date stamp with a retired close to my heart pink ink, and I just position that right next to the word summer just to kind of fill in that cluster. Here I brought the layout a little bit closer to the camera so that way you can see it a little bit more in detail. There you can really see that holographic foil that's on the word summer. And that wraps this layout and this process video up. I am going to bring in some still shots. Please remember to head to my blog to check out more still shots and also to hop along with us. I have not seen anyone's projects yet, so I am super excited to see what everyone has created, and I am sure they will not disappoint, so I would love for you to hop along with us. I want to thank everyone for watching and for leaving likes and comments. They really do mean so much, and I enjoy reading each and every comment. I will be back again soon with a new layout and process video.